Whoa, didn't see you there.
Well, I guess that means we should get started then.
You're going to make mistakes. The point of that show is you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. And if you haven't done something, doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you haven't done it. So you can do anything you want to do, anything. But it takes hard work.
Hi, I'm Kieran from Kieran on the Street, and I'm filling in for Lulu. We would like to start off today's episode with a huge thank you to Ricky Minor for his inspiring speech and to the entire Black History Month committee for planning such great events.
We would also like to say that we here at the Ships Inn are very excited to celebrate Women's History Month. We are already appreciating the posters around school and are looking forward to what GISA has in store for us.
Speaking of Women's History Month, the first major event was hosted last Friday evening. A special screening of The Breadwinner, followed by a Q&A session moderated by our own Cyan Jackson, occurred right here at Pilgrim. In case you didn't make it, we have you covered with a quick recap.
It is so important to realize is that it's not that people are waiting to be rescued. People are fighting the fight every single day.
I want people to know me and see me for the knowledge that I bring, not for how I look.
There are voices that are out there, and it's so important to hear them and to know them, because oftentimes we get wrapped up in a narrative that makes it feel like they're all so different, and it's all so different over there. And the truth is, it's more dangerous, it's more difficult, but it's not different.
Thanks to my fellow GISA club members for putting on such a great event. We are all looking forward to what the rest of the month has in store. Next up, we just wanted to remind everybody that the Jogathon is approaching fast. We'll be running laps on the field to raise money to get tables and chairs for Festival Plaza. This year we'll be celebrating in the 60s for our 60th. Every student who raises $100 or more receives a free dress day, plus 2 tickets to enter a raffle for cool prizes. Students will receive 1 additional raffle ticket for every $50 raised. The more money you raise, the more chances you have to win. Be sure to mark off March 16th on your calendars and start warming up those calves.
Exciting stuff. Cafe Barnum is also coming up. As always, this year promises to be a great lineup. Be sure to come out and support your fellow Patriots March 9th. And if you have any questions, please direct them to Miss Williams or Mr. Hurley.
We would also like to give a quick shout out to all the 8th grade advisors for helping out the Santa Diorc Animal Shelter. It's always great to see Pilgrim students venture out and help their immediate community.
Oh, and you know we didn't forget about our famous Ships In segments. We have a brand new episode for you today of Pursuing Passions. Let's see what passions Stafford is pursuing.
Welcome to the brand new segment on Ships In, Pursuing Passions. So, why did you start fencing?
I started fencing in 1st grade.
Is there a particular reason why you started?
How
did you get into it?
I started fencing because actually, my mother tells the story a little bit better. I was really, really shy, and I didn't really do team sports or anything. I didn't really do that. So I really loved Star Wars. It's like a really awful story, but I was really into Star Wars, and my mother was Googling stuff like this to sort of help me come out of my shell. Sort of a thing that she constantly.
And fencing is the.
And fencing just was sort of a blend between Star Wars, because it was sword fighting, and you were behind a mask, so you don't really have to stare directly into the face of your opponent as you run at them with a sword. It's sort of.
Actually, a very interesting story. Alright, so after you started, your mom, in a sense, kind of forced you into it, right? What's fun about it? What kept you going in fencing?
It felt like a little escape. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know, there was nobody that knew me outside of fencing. There was nobody from school. There was nobody from camps or anything like that. So I just sort of was a different person from at school and at fencing. And it was sort of a little in between that I sort of got to make new friends and do these wonderful things that I wouldn't have had a chance to do at school.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment or something that you're most proud of?
Well, there's two, honest. One would be winning summer nationals. That was a pretty big thing.
When did you win it?
I won it a couple years ago, but it's still kind of big, and I have this little trophy that sits up in my room. I'm pretty proud of that. But the other would probably be making top 20 in the U.S. and cadet, and then getting to go internationally to Austria at defense for Team USA. That was pretty fun.
Right. Where do you think fencing will take you, or like how far do you think you want to go with fencing?
I'm still pondering that question. Actually, I know I would like to fence in college. I have no idea what happens after that, because really only the top athletes are still fencing after college, and they're only going for the Olympics. But I have no idea how far I'm intending to go with this.
Well, thank you, Stafford.
Thank you. I'm Stafford. My passion is fencing.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of The Ship's End. I'm Kieran.
I'm Bailey.
And we'll see you next time.
So on Tuesday, April 10th, we're going to be having a student and faculty basketball game. The way this is going to work is we're going to get 3 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 3 juniors, and 3 seniors, along with some of your favorite faculty members. Those players are going to be drafted amongst 2 teams. So now, let's hear from your 2 team captains.
Hi everyone, I'm here to tell you about the Spirit basketball game on April 10th. I heard I'm coaching against some guy named Beardsley. I thought you had to be 18 or older to coach in this, but apparently they'll take anybody who applies. And with an awesome name like Beardsley, it would be really cool if you could grow an adequate beard, but you know, every book doesn't have a proper title, I guess. Woody Allen once said though, 80% of success is showing up. I'm pretty sure his team would be a little more successful if he didn't show up at all though. That also got me thinking, there was this one time I saw Rise Against the Troubadour, and they played the song, The Art of Losing. And I'm pretty sure they had to write that song about what Beardsley is going to do on April 10th. And I mean, is Maine even a real state? I thought that place was just a place Canada didn't even want. So Beardsley, you're going to need to put your moose back in the kennel. You're going to need to put your lobsters back in the tank, because they're not going to want to see what's going to happen to you. And I don't even need to mention that Beardsley's basketball skills are almost as good as Mr. Maynard's ability to show up on time. I'll see you out there on April 10th.
Coach Beardsley here to talk a little smack. Coach Conci, I hope you're ready for the pain that's coming your way. And I'm not talking little baby pain like, oh, I hurt my shoulder on the snow hill. No, I'm talking full East Coast blizzard up in that gym. While you grew up on Cold Stone Creamery and In-N-Out and hanging out on Redondo Beach with your little rainbow flip-floppers, I was cutting down trees with my bare hands. You want to know what we use for a basketball? Ice. And right now, I know you're probably going, oh, okay, well, when Beardsley shoots the ball, travel the parabola negative 3x squared plus 10, and I'll be able to block it when x equals 1. Wrong. No amount of calculus is going to save you from the 46,000 calculations I ran right now. Your skills are derivative. I know your game. Hold on to your butt, Conci, because the infinite series of basketball moves I've got coming your way is going to knock you right back into Algebra 1. That's what you call a slam dunk.
If you are interested in playing, please talk to your class representatives by March 14th.